July 12, 1906, Volume 7. Everything that serves as sufferings to the creature touches God. Having struggled very much in waiting for my blessed Jesus, I was feeling tired and exhausted. Then, coming almost in passing, he told me, "My daughter, everything that serves as sufferings or as pricking to the creature, on one hand pricks the creature, on the other touches God. And God, feeling touched at each touch he feels, gives always something divine to the creature." And he disappeared. July 12, 1918, Volume 12. Effects of the Passion of Jesus. I was praying for a dying soul with a certain fear and anxiety, when my lovable Jesus came and told me, "My daughter, why do you fear? Do you not know that for each word on my passion, for each thought, compassion, reparation, memory of my pains, as many ways of electric communication open between me and the soul, and therefore the soul keeps adorning herself with as many different beauties? She has done the hours of my passion, and I will receive her as daughter of my passion, clothed with my blood and adorned with my wounds. This flower has grown inside your heart, so I bless it and I receive it in my heart as a favorite flower." And while he was saying this, a flower came out of my heart and took flight toward Jesus. July 12, 1937, Volume 34. How the human reflections take the place away from the divine ones, and are rubble that muddies the fount of the soul. How the divine will converts its love into nature, and what it does at the point of death. It anticipates it for one who lives in it. I am in the arms of the divine volition that more than vigilant sentinel not only wants to make itself life of my every act, but penetrating into every hiding place of my heart and of my mind, it recalls me, if everything that enters into me is not part of the Fiat. And my always lovable Jesus, visiting my little soul, and assuming the aspect of teacher who wants to teach to his daughter everything, told me, "Blessed daughter of my will, you must know that self-reflections, impressions, oppressions, melancholies, doubts, little fears, impede the divine reflections, the holy impressions, the rapid flight toward heaven, the joys of true good, the celestial peace. They are as so much rubble cast into a lake while a person is looking in those limpid waters as in a mirror, and sees her whole person, that it is beautiful and ordered. Now what happens? While she is looking in those very clear waters, a little rubble is cast into that lake. The waters ripple, become muddy, and so many ripples and more ripples form as to muddy all the water. What becomes of the poor person who was admiring herself? As the ripples formed in the water, so they brought, some a foot, some an arm, some a hand, some the head, in a way that she sees herself all strangled by the ripples of those waters. What has made it that the limpidity of those waters has been lost in a way that her image cannot be seen entire any more, but in a way as to cause pity? What was it? A little rubble. Such is the soul created by God, more than a very clear font in which God could look at himself in her, and she in God. Now the reflections, the oppressions, the doubts, fears, and so forth, are as so much rubble cast into the depth of her soul. And God, looking at himself in her, does not see himself entirely, but as divided into so many parts. Therefore the strength, the divine joy, the sanctity, the unity of peace is divided. This will impede her from knowing who God is, how much He loves her, and what He wants from her. And for her wanting to look at herself in God, these rubbles will impede her step, making her limp in walking, impeding her flight in order to look at herself in He who has created her, while they seem things of nothing. And yet in this is formed the knowledge of God in the creature, the union, the sanctity, the looking of God in the creature and she in God. But not if the soul is disturbed by these rubbles, that can be called trifles of the soul, that lacking the solidity and substance of true love, are always muddying, and God cannot mirror Himself in her in order to form His beautiful image. And therefore be attentive and always seek my will. Jesus became silent, and I remained thinking about the great evil that self-reflections do. And my sweet Jesus added, "My daughter, only in my will can the soul arrive at the apex of the highest sanctity, and enclose in herself, for as much as is possible for a creature, a complete act, such as to fill herself so much as to not leave any void in her, so much so as to convert into her own nature the good that she does. If she loves in my fiat, the wave of love rains on her everywhere. It invests her most intimate fibers. And while its rain pours over her, sweeping her away in love, it assumes the aspect of queen and converts into nature its love in the creature, but so much so that she will feel the breath, the heartbeat, the motion, the step, all her being, that she does not know how to do anything other than love. This wave of love rises even to heaven, without ceasing to reign over her, and she takes her Creator by storm, and she always loves Him, because when good is converted into one's nature, one feels the need of repeating the received good as act that constitutes her life. If she adores, she will feel her nature changed into adoration, such that in everything she will feel profound adorations coming forth for her Creator. If she repairs, she will feel the course of going to search out all the offenses in order to place her reparation there. In sum, my will, with its creative strength, does not leave any void, and it knows how to convert into nature everything that the creature does in it. See what difference there is between one who lives in my will and possesses it as operating life, and one who knows it as virtue, and perhaps in the most sorrowful circumstances of life, and in all the rest as if it were not for them. Now I want to tell you another consoling surprise. So much is our pleasure when the creature decides with immovable firmness to live in our volition, that what we must do at the point of death, of confirming her in the good in which she finds herself, because you must know that everything that she has done in life, prayers, virtue, sufferings suffered, good works, these serve to form our little divine life in her soul. Not one blessed enters into heaven if she does not possess this divine life, according to the good that they have done. And if they have loved me and fulfilled my will more, so they will have it, some lesser, some greater, because the true happiness, the true joys, must be possessed within. In fact, each one will have inside and outside of them their God, who will always give them new joys, so much so that if souls, dying, are not filled up even to the brim with love and with my will, I confirm them, yes, but they do not enter into heaven. I send them to purgatory to fill these voids of love and of my will by way of sufferings, of anxieties, and of longings. And when they are filled with everything in a way that one sees in them that they are already completely transformed into my love and into my will, then they take flight toward heaven. Now, for one who does not want to do her will any more but only mine, we do not wait for that point. With an irresistible strength, our love brings us to anticipate the confirmation of the good, and to convert into nature our love and our will, so that she will feel that my love, my volition is hers. She will feel my life more than her own, but with the difference that of those who are confirmed at the point of death, they will not grow any more in good. Their merits are finished. On the other hand, in these, my life will always grow. The merits will never end. Rather, they will have the divine merits. As they continue to admire and to live of my will, so they will know me more, and I love them more and increase their glory. I can say that I run in her every act in order to give her my kiss, my love, in order to recognize her that she is mine, and give her the value, the merit, as if I were to have done it. Ah, you cannot understand what we feel for one who lives in our volition, how we love her. We want to make her content in everything, because in her we find the purpose of creation realized, and all the glory that all things must give us centralized. And then, our completed will is everything for us. End of July 12th. Fiat.